Hey everyone, my name is James Feng. I'm a FEMBA 2021, and I guess I did enough right things or I brush shoulders with the right people to be able to be here and share my experiences with you guys. And so hopefully you find this to be helpful. I recently just completed my business creation option, which is the BCO capstone project. And I completed all the requirements that I need to be able to graduate in the spring of 2021. And so that's super, super exciting. It's also a perfect opportunity now, as my time as an active student is winding down, to really reflect and think about, why I chose the program, what I learned from the program, my experiences in the program, and share those with you. And so hopefully it either resonates with you or it's helpful. Um, so why I chose the UCLA Anderson program for my MBA, really a couple of reasons. I think the first is the opportunity for discovery. And so, I think a lot of people join an MBA with a certain mindset or a certain path that they want to go on. And as you learn and you discover new things, that could change. And what's really appealing to me about Anderson, it really fosters an environment to kind of support that self-discovery, right? So either through club events, learning from students, conferences, speaker series, they bring in sort of this world-class level of education and knowledge to really, lecture and inform you about different things for you to make decisions to either pursue different career paths, make certain transitions, or really to enhance where you are. Um, and the second is really the supporting cast. I think, everyone sort of needs a team to kind of get where they want, especially for the people that are really looking to make a change. And when you're looking to make a change, right, you have to think about, how do I make this change? How do I transition? Who do I need to talk to? How do I put myself on the best path? And when you think about the supporting cast, the faculty, the career center, your classmates, the alumni, students from different programs, they're there to advise you, coach you, mentor you, and really help you position yourself to be as successful as possible as you make a transition into a career change possibly. And that was the other thing that was really attractive to me about Anderson. And then the third is obviously Los Angeles, right? The weather, the city, and the freaking championships, right? Like, how do you pass that up? And so that was the third thing that really attracted me to the program, was the city itself. And so, when I started the program, I was like a management consultant from New York. And now a couple years later, a couple shades tanner, I'm in my new home in Los Angeles, and I really look back at the program and figure out and think about what it's really provided me. And it's providing me with a breadth of experiences, a toolkit that really provides me with the confidence to pursue any sort of career endeavor, whether it be tomorrow, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And the third is a leadership mindset that really embodies the pillars of UCLA Anderson and really taking the best of the past, but also keeping an eye out for the future as well. I chose BCO for my field of study because I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, or at least I always wanted to test out what it's like to be an entrepreneur and whether that was for me. However, I've always also had a full-time, safe, steady, risk-contained job. And so in the past, I've never tested it out, although I've always wanted to, because it was risky. And I don't know if I had the skill sets or the confidence to comfortably be able to execute on a new venture, and give up the safe and steady job that I had. And so when the BCO program presented itself, right, it's a great program. It's structured. It provides you the coaching, the mentorship. It's a fail safe and learn rich environment that really gives you your shot at testing out the waters, into potentially becoming an entrepreneur. And so that's what I did. And what we ended up doing for the BCO program is, we launched a food product. One of our co-founders is from Thailand, and his family actually sells a traditional Thai snack called Miam Kham in Thailand. And we decided to take that product and launch it into the States, called Bangkok Bites, and target the prepackaged fresh goods aisle in your groceries and retail channels. Um, and so during the BCO program, we spent a lot of time on product development, testing the product, getting the product to potential customers, having them try, give us feedback, iterate on that product. And then we did a lot of things on the business side that we learned throughout business school, which was great because I think for a product launch, we're launching a product, it checks off a lot of the things that you learn in business school. And so we were able to apply that to the product itself when we think about, what customers are we looking to target? What's the brand messaging going to be? What are we going to put on our packaging? When it comes to strategy, who are our competitors? How are we going to price ourselves? How do we want to enter the market? So all that comes together when we think about launching the product. And then on the other side, we also did a lot of research during the BCO program. There were a lot of hypotheses that we had to test out, right? Whether, people even wanted this product. Was there, was there demand for it? And we interviewed a bunch of potential customers, industry experts, advisors, people that have launched products in the past. And, we learned a lot in terms of like how to launch a product, what are some of the best practices, what are the different approaches, but also even proving out business viability as well. And so for us, hopefully, it's post BCO now, but our team still intends to work on this together. Right now, we're working with co-manufacturers, and hopefully, we'll get a product commercially built and into some retail channels sometime in 2021. So that's sort of what we did during the BCO program. Having just completed the BCO program, there are a lot of lessons and takeaways that I'm very excited to kind of carry forward into my future career endeavors. And so first and foremost is aligning motivations and aligning them with your team as well. And so, before the BCO program, obviously during the BCO program, we worked on a product launch. But before that, you actually have to take a business viability class to prove business viability. And then you take a business plan class to put together a business plan. And about 85% through both of those, we actually worked on a completely separate idea. And then, with the remaining 15%, and then the remaining time before BCO, we actually pivoted and worked on a product development. And really, there were two drivers for that. One was obviously the business viability, but two, I don't know if our team was necessarily motivated to pursue that previous business. And so we had these tough conversations as a team to really align what are we motivated on? What is going to get us up every day to work hard, to contribute back to the business, and to really get something off the ground. And we all decided we wanted something that was a little bit more tangible. And so that's why we decided to pivot into something that was more on the product launch side. And so that was one lesson that we learned. It's okay to pivot as long as, it aligns with your goals, your motivations, and sort of what drives you to work and be your best self every day. And then the second is creativity, right? And embracing challenge. Obviously, we did BCO, and it was during COVID. It was during the pandemic, and it wasn't easy. It was very challenging, especially when it comes to launching a food product, right? There's different sentiments now in terms of like how people look at food, how they, what food preferences they have, their shopping preferences, how food is being handled, but also even getting people to try our product, right? We had visions of like launching into farmers markets and getting people to test our product, and the pandemic completely shot that down, right? Our team was impacted, many teams were impacted. And so we had to figure out like, what are we going to do? How are we going to, do we pivot again, or do we find some creative way to get, to work on the product development, get people to try our product in a pandemic world? And so what we did was we actually, hand delivered product, or got a lot of people sign up, hand deliver them to people to try it and test it out. And you just had to be creative and smart and really embrace the challenge. And, I think the challenge is part of it. But at the end of the day, there's really no excuse not to be creative. I think there are so many small businesses out there that are struggling right now because of the pandemic. And, if they could creatively, without MBAs, creatively transition their business, whether it's from a storefront to a digital front, whatever the case may be, really in the BCO program, there was really no excuses for us not to really embrace that ambiguity and that challenge and that unknown. And so, for us, it's being creative, learning that if something is unknown, that companies that are innovative are the ones that are going to thrive and survive. And so for us, it's really thinking quickly on our feet, making adjustments, being creative, embracing the challenge, and then you come out better after that as well. So that's something else that I take away from the BCO program. I'm honored to be selected by faculty to be a Voice of FEMBA for BCO. And so if you're watching this video, you're probably someone that's curious, you have an appetite for change, you're ready to embrace a challenge, and most importantly, you're ready to think fearlessly. And so I encourage you to look no further than here at UCLA Anderson, a home where you're able to build meaningful connections, a breadth of experiences with some of the brightest future business leaders, a place you could come and make an impact, and hopefully leave this place better than the way that you found it. So if you have any questions about anything, whether it's the school, whether it's the program, if you want to talk to me about who's better, the Yankees or the Dodgers, the Yankees, of course, or if you want to debate me on, where's the best pizza spot in Los Angeles, anything, just slide into my DMs on LinkedIn. Happy to connect. James out.